back in 2014 after a car accident. It's more likely of an outer body experience that I had rather than near-death experience. I was exposed to many, many, many things. To be honest with you, I didn't even know exist, and I didn't even know can feel the way they felt, and I didn't even know that anything that I thought about this world or what this world can do or capable of in the physical, I had no idea that the spiritual can overcome all of that until I was actually gone through the experience I've gone through. And so after that, I was totally convinced. I don't even believe, I am convinced that there is no death. There's no such thing as death. That when people talk about death, they only talk about the death of a state, of a consciousness, of a form, of a shape, of a body, of a something that you wear, like clothing that your soul wears. So when you die, you just take off this physical clothing, but the soul lives and moves on forever. So, like I said, there is no death. So I was convinced that there is no death, and my job is to, my calling, if you would, is to spread that fact with people who have recently lost their loved ones, or not so recently, because that wound never really healed. And I want to give them hope, to tell them, hey, you lost your loved one on this earth, but fear not, and don't even be sad, because they continued over. If you were to know, and if you were to be able to peek on the other side to know where your loved ones have crossed over to, if any of us would be able to do that, then none of us would be sad over death. On the contrary, we would be happy and relieved to know that our loved ones are no longer suffering. Because whether people die from a tragedy or after a long period of physical suffering, the death is still the same death, and the pain is still the same pain, and we always want to know that our loved ones are doing better wherever they are. But knowing for a fact, not believing, not hoping, but knowing for a fact, as if you were there to come back and tell, knowing for a fact that there is no death. Therefore, you have to completely recalculate your route, your purpose, and your journey on this earth. So, let me tell you something. We live in a physical body, which is forming some sort of a lying, delusional reality. And the body requires a lot. The physical body requires a lot of resources, and most of the time, a lot of people, and this is regardless of your faith, they will invest so much in their physical body, whether it's with clothing and money and earthly pleasures and whatnot. All of their life will be chasing of how to take care of their physical body's needs, but they don't think about their spiritual needs. They don't think about the core. They don't think about the real resident that lives within this physical body, which is something that never dies. And a lot of people should have knowledge and should be able to train and elevate that soul while living on this planet. Because once you cross over and you know you are a soul, and you know you're made out of light, and you know that all that people care over there about is your good deeds and your character, and none of the other stuff matters. Once you know, once you're there, you'll know it automatically. The key is to know it here on this earth. And a lot of the time, people will use faith. Some people practice faith differently. Again, every time I get to talk about this subject, I always have to be. I always feel like I'm walking on eggshells, because whose feeling I'm going to hurt today by maybe not following exactly what they believe in. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to the spiritual world, when it comes to even religion, when it comes to your soul, nobody has monopoly over the knowledge. This is something we all share. This is something we all are part of. And this is our own individual journey and beliefs. So for some people, a lot of us will be crazy. For For some others, a lot of us will be very enlightening. Depends on your view. So when it comes to people get religions involved and faith and practices, and they're saying, mine is better, mine is the right way. I mean, even if you think that, these are the type of things you keep to yourself, because whose soul you're really trying to save is yourselves. So whether you believe in whatever you believe in, as long as you believe that there is life after death, as long as you believe that this world is not the end, then everybody has a common grounds and a foundation to talk about these things. So what I wanted to talk about today, and again, this event was started in the private group that I'm a member of, the Near Death Experience, which is a great group. A lot of people have been through a lot of the stuff that I've been through, or other people who lost their loved ones are member, and they're all sharing some very, very meaningful things. I enjoy being on that group and reading every day and just getting more hope and more, throw prayers on people's way. And it's much better than just sitting or playing video games and doing other stuff with my time. And again, this is going to be, hello everybody, by the way. It's going to be a discussion type format. I'm not here to give a speech or anything like that. But if anybody here is from the group and you are able to share this video on that Near Death Experience group, you will be appreciated, because again, I'm streaming from my personal new page. You're more than welcome to like it. I'm probably going to do it from there on. So just to tell you something, just a couple of minutes before I start the discussion and the subject of tonight's open discussion, which will be guardian angels and how to how to communicate with them, and signs that that they are in your life, how to recognize the guardian angel, what is a guardian angel, and all that stuff. And I must say a disclaimer: when I talk about angels today, I'm going to talk a little bit from religious perspective, because angels are have a big role and a big part in all three major religions, and even in other religions too. So angels are pretty much heavenly figures that everybody agrees on. So it's not taking any religious stance on them, but it is coming from stories that that a lot of one of those religions, at least, has been talking about. So before we start, I have to tell you one last thing. And like I said, after I'm done talking about these type of angels from my perspective and my knowledge, guardian angels, and how I actually encountered one without knowing I encountered one after my accident. Because if it wasn't a guardian angel, I don't know what a guardian angel is. So I know they're out there, and a lot of us don't know that they're with us 24/7. The reason that we are breathed, the reason that what you call immune system, and the reason that tons of billions and trillions of viruses that are in the air are not able to just kill us any given moment, and the reason that our heart doesn't just stop, the fact that we just don't die in a random earthquake and all that stuff, a lot of it, if not all of it, is due to the fact that we always have guardian angels with us. We always. Sometimes we have guardian angels to protect us from our own self, from our own destructive selves. Because there's a balance out there. For everything good, there's something evil too. For every good urge to do a good deed, there's an urge to do something bad. This is human nature. This is something universal. And once you understand that and you pick a side, you'll be very powerful. Meaning there's no bad influence can enter your life and lead you to, temptations cannot lead you into any type of sin. So like I said, before I start, I will have to share with you guys some sort of deep meditation that I had last night. So I started these meditations, and I'm using music, and this type of music it's called out-of-body experience music. I recommend, and I don't, because these type of meditations are the types that if you are not fully comfortable with your ability to really get into this trance and get outside your body with your mind, you can really end up like I did, which to me it felt really great. I felt like I'm literally exiting the body with that music, with that meditation. So I felt heavy at first, and then I felt like my arms were getting light and light, and I'm going up and up and up. And then at one point, I'm starting to see things I'm not supposed to see, like clouds and big light, moon-like thing coming out of the cloud and almost sucking me in. I'm like waking up like in fear, thinking I'm going to just die from a heart attack that moment. So some of these meditations can be really serious. So let's say today, let's talk about the subject, guardian angels. What are they? If you agree with the fact that they exist, are guardian angels the only type of angels, and what are their role really? So, like I said, I'm going to base my explanation on religion. And you have to understand that when the world, according to the Bible, was created, the world was created, of course, in 6 days, and I think that angels were created in the second day, amongst other heavenly beings. But it seemed like the whole world was created for us, mankind. Therefore, some believe that our souls are actually bigger in light, like stronger and more holy or more closer to God than even the angel souls. Because the angels have souls as well. Just the angels never take humanly body, like they're not part of this physical realm. So, as well as the angels are also, just like us, they have free will. However, they tend to do God's will, and their main role is to do God's will, to help us, direct us, guide us, and whatnot. So, therefore, the angels were created for us, and we were not created for them. The core of our soul is part of God, as angels were part of God's creation. Some angels are powerful. Some angels are there for just the purpose of plants to grow normally and have a cycle. Like there's angels for pretty much everything. So the universe will continue to operate according to how God intended it to operate. So when it comes to guardian angels, we believe that every person, every soul also have a guardian angel to keep it from temptations and to keep it from other things that are not angelic. For example, demonic. Like you have to understand that for all these angelic and powerful heavenly beings that are what we want to believe are good, there's also the other side that is bad. And it can be in consciousness or it can be in reality, in the physical world. So we have to know the difference, and we have to, with our free will, choose what we want our heart and soul to be. Who do we want to belong to? So sometimes I believe the guardian angels are there to guard us also from the evil incarnations that are inside of us, that what we want to do, that sometimes we all want to do something that we know is not right. Sometimes we say things we don't mean. Sometimes we just choose the bad choice and we don't understand why. Because there are these energies, these urges that try to literally convince our soul to make choices. So here you have guardian angels that some of them are really there to make you take the right decisions, to make you do good deeds, good acts. Sometimes you don't understand why, but you feel like doing something because something's telling you. Like you feel like something's telling you to do something good. Like it's not something to come out of yourself, but like you have this sign, this internal drive to do something. That can be a sign for a guardian angel. And I have to say also that guardian angels are not like your deceased loved ones, okay? If you lost the loved ones, they're human beings, they're souls, they're spirit of humans, but they're not. They're amongst angels, but they're not guardian angels themselves. Like you can't say to somebody who died, you are an angel now. No, you are with angels, but they're not becoming angels. So, I'm going to give you some signs that you know that you have a guardian angel next to you. And like I said, there are many, many, many types of guardian angels. Some that guard your tongue from speaking evil, and others that's just speaking evil in general. Some that guard your actions. Some that guard you physically from other beings. And some that can make you, like you say, like some people say, be in the right place in the right time. You know that term? Well, sometimes you can, you're supposed to take a flight, and that flight, God forbid, crashes, and you knew that you were supposed to be on that flight, but something told you not to go. So these are the type of guardian angels. Okay? We all know that angels are messengers of God. They come along history, we have a timeline from biblical days until even nowadays, people talk about encounters with angels. So, and I've had some research about some people's testimonies when they talked about encountering with angels, and I've gathered some signs that that at any moment you have the guardian angel with you. Now, like I said, the guardian angel is always with you, but at times those angels can be seen, can be felt, and I'm going to give you some signs about that. So, like I said, I wrote it down here on a piece of paper, so you have to excuse me. I'm going to have to read it slow. So, number one, if you have an amount of light shining on your face, like, for example, sometimes you wake up one morning or you go outside or you're even in the house, you feel like there's such a significant amount of light that is above the normal, that is on your face, and it's just like a comfortable light, kind of like a bright light, that you know that right now, at the moment, you're being watched by a guardian angel. That's one of the signs that people talk about. Also, there's the feeling that you are not alone in a room. I don't know if sometimes it happened to any of you that you feel like you are with somebody else, even though you're physically alone in a room. You feel some sort of presence, and it doesn't have to be something scary. It's mostly like something that gives you comfort and security. You feel like you're not alone, but you feel protected. That's also one of the signs. Sometimes you have babies, especially newborns up until a year. We have to understand that children, especially that young, since they come, like we come from the spirit world to this physical world and going back to the spirit world, it's like a big circle. So those babies still have their spiritual awareness. They actually have less physical awareness when they are newborns, but their soul still remembers everything. So when babies sometimes will stare at you and start giggle or laugh or smile for no reason, because babies don't always smile to anybody, and sometimes you'll see like the babies will look above your head or to the side. They won't really make eye contact with you, but still laugh and smile and be really happy and enlightened. That's sometimes not because of your good looks, but because they can actually feel and sense and see, in some cases, the guardian angel that you have, or at least the halo. So the aura. In Hebrew, aura means light. So, like I said, babies, and then you have another sign is, for example, animals that follow you. Sometimes you'll have animals, like random animals that follow you in the street randomly, and you don't know what they'll walk after you, like stray dogs. Some will just, like, for some reason want to be in your presence, and you don't understand why. And it's not really you. They just want to be next to your guardian angel. So there's a lot of signs, a lot of signs. And I'm going to give you the ultimate one, but the ultimate one is something that we all have been through. We all have been through. We all know that in life, either us or people who are precious to our hearts have gone through a miracle, or something that was almost a tragedy, or something that could have ended in a tragedy, or ended something really, really bad. And it ended up being a miracle, or ended up being some sort of a last-minute salvation. These are the classical cases of guardian angels. This is where the guardian angel will actually bother himself all the way from the angels world, from the spirit world, down here to save. A lot of people, including myself, they can have horrific accidents. And right now, the most common form of an accident is a motor vehicle accident, it's a car accident. So a lot of the time, people will have devastating accidents, which when you look from the outside to the damage that happens, to the physics of that accident, you are most likely to be convinced that nobody has made it alive out of that accident. But yet you hear that people came out without a scratch. And you're looking at one. When I had my bad car accident in 2014, when I had my outer body experience, that accident, that car, that van that I was driving that day, When I went to grab some stuff out of it a day after, the guy who worked in the impound lot asked me to say condolences. He said his condolences to the families who lost their loved one in that terrible accident. And I approached him and I said, "You're talking to me. I'm the driver. I was the only one in the car." And it was like, "There's no way you came out of that thing alive." And I said, "I did." And not only I came out of that accident alive, and nobody believed me, but I was discharged from the hospital after 2 hours without even a broken bone, without even a bruise. Nothing. Nothing. And it made no sense if you look at the car and you look at me, like nothing. Like not a scratch. And I knew that that has to be a guardian angel. Has to be. Oh, that's an interesting one. Sorry. I was shot. Wow, you were shot 7 times and in a coma for 7 months. And you are with us here, thank God, to share this. So you are a classic case of a guardian angel. Or even above that, God himself didn't want you to die. 7 times. Wow. 7 times in 7 months. So you have something in the number 7. Interesting pattern. Yeah, we live in the world of the 7, by the way. If you ever get yourself into Kabbalah and it's like Jewish mysticism, like it's this secret stuff, you'll find out that the world has like spheres, like 10 spheres, like 10 worlds, and we are considered to be in the world of the 7, which is the world that we have souls inside the body, the physical world, the materialistic world, the world of the lies. And then there was the world of the 8, which is the spirit world, and there's a 9 and 10, angels, and the whole thing. So, like I said, guardian angels are those who are going to save you. And you just did not expect to be saved. Guardian angels are those to take away your terminal illness, even to the shock of all the medical staff, to the shock of all the doctors. These are really the roles. Excuse my language. The roles of the guardian angels. Guardian angels also are those who are going to escort our loved ones and yourselves when we pass from this world. When you actually pass and you don't have a near-death experience or an out-of-body experience, but you actually have the whole real experience of death, you are going to be escorted to your destination by angels. This is what some people actually describe as well. So when people see the big light, and everybody's talking about the light and the tunnel, the light, and I've said it before in a different live video, is your own soul light. Okay, we reflect. We are like a big flashlight, big flame, and angels are obviously made out of light as well, even a brighter light, and they escort you. So let's read something from the discussion here. I lost my 20-year-old son to suicide April 19. I'm so sorry. April 29 of 2018. When he was alive, I've always told him to ask his angels for help. Well, first of all, is that Jenny? That's how you say your name, Jane? I'm sorry that you lost your son, and to lose a child in general, regardless the reason, is the worst emotional pain a human being can experience. More than anything else in the world. When you have to bury your child, you are actually going against the rules of nature. So there is no comfort. If I need to bury my father one of these days, and I will, we always hope to bury our parents. We don't want to bury our children. This is completely a whole different mind game. I mean, a loss is a loss. But when you, instead of burying your parents, knowing that's the circle of life, you end up being a parent yourself, burying your child before seeing that child growing to become an adult, him or herself, this is tragedy. And to do it to suicide, this is double the tragedy. And I all I can comfort you with, first of all, thank you for sharing. It always helps. Sharing helps, and not only helping this group or those 15 viewers on this new page, but sharing this really help your soul and even helps your son. Talking about them like that, mentioning his story, causing people automatically, even without intending to, causing our people, including myself, to pray for your son. And when we pray for the deceased ones, the deceased ones pray for us. It's a give and take relationships, and I said it in my last video as well. We pray for the dead pray for us as well. They need us as much as we need them. Because we're never really separated. We're just separated in consciousness. You didn't know how to live since, but I held on to God. Good. That's the only way you can do it. I know my angels are guiding me. Yeah, exactly. So it seems like you got it going on right. And that's very important to know that even after this strategy, because I wouldn't take this for granted, the things that you're saying. A lot of people, most people, unfortunately, can go insane going through what you've been through, burying a child. And a lot of people can lose any direction, especially when it comes to faith. Because a lot of people can feel anger, God forbid, at God, saying, hey, you gave me a child, so I have to bury. But you understood that sometimes things happen, and when they happen like that in a very unnatural way, we tend to understand that there is a higher reason. And some of these reasons are not always reasons that we can understand, nor have the tools to understand on this earth or in this lifetime. Sometimes it has to do with past lives that you as a mother have nothing to do with. But things like that, when they're meant to be, they're meant to be. We all have a date and time and reason of death. We just can't control it unless we commit suicide. But I'm really sorry that your son's soul was at the place where it just didn't know what else to do. I think, number one, a lot of people sometimes like to jump to conclusions with people who commit suicide and like to judge them for committing that sin. But I refuse to judge lost souls. If anything, I will first judge the people who weren't there to help that soul not think about suicide. Because when people get to that point, they're at a stage where they're completely lost. Their consciousness is the soul, their love for their life, the appreciation, the understanding of their role on this planet, their understanding of the role of God, and how He and only He controls the creation as far as when you're born and when you die. That's not something we manufacture. It's all part of the, exactly, I was about to say, it's all part of the plan. So I don't judge people that hurt themselves, though it's never encouraged. But at the same time, I pray for every soul in whatever way they choose to end their lives. And when a lot of people sometimes tell me about suicide and stuff like that, and get into the field of free will, I myself personally tell them that though we do have free will, but for a person to want to take their own lives, I believe that just like we have angels interfering in our lives in a way of saving us, I believe that there are also demons in this world, that they're doing the complete opposite. They're trying to brainwash it or soul wash us to do things that we're not supposed to do. And sometimes they have the upper hand, and they get to convince us to do things. I mean, look at Adam and Eve. Look at the first sin. It was an evil serpent. It was the devil who convinced Eve to eat from the forbidden fruit. Otherwise, I guess the first sin wouldn't happen. But even that is supposed to happen. So when it comes to guardian angels, like I said, they're here to guard us. They're here to direct us. They're here to give us messages. But we have to open our eyes. The more you enlighten yourself, and listen to this before I let you all go. And like I said, don't forget to share this video if you liked it on the other groups. But my advice is that the more you open up, the more your inner light, comes out, your soul opens up to so many more opportunities. Think about like a window, like your body is a big window that has those thick blinds. Your soul is the sunlight trying to come out. Slowly, as you open up those blinds spiritually, and your soul is getting enlightened by actually doing things that the soul likes. Because some people message me, it's like, how do I deal with this life? How do I get my soul to be expressed? I say, well, treat your soul as a soul. Do the things that your soul really likes, that you can't buy with money, the things that are just pure joy. And treat your soul. And this is how you enlighten it. And believe and know these things. Believe in life after life. Because death is something that takes a split second. You get rid of this body, this physical body stops working, your spiritual body moves on. Though to your loved ones, you are somebody who just died and they'll never see you again. And everybody always holding on to that 1% hope or chance that maybe it's forever. But it's not forever. You have 99.9. You actually have 100% chance you'll see them again. Though it's never pleasant to say goodbye to your loved one. But just so you know, it's everybody's destination. When you tend to believe and open up your heart and nurture your soul automatically will be like light rays from the sun trying to break through that window called your body. And you'll be able to meditate enough to not only feel a guardian angel, but to welcome them in your life more often and to even create some. Because believe it or not, we have the power with our good deeds on this earth. We have the power to create angels. We create angels. We can change our own destiny with angels that we are created ourselves with our own actions. We are like God in a way that we are able to create. We create life, and we can even create angels. Or the other way around. So, all I'm saying is enlighten yourself. Believe that those things happen. And know that when your time comes, you'll be walking through a destination that's going to make this world feels like it was a whole waste of time. The feeling that people have been describing of the afterlife are something that is pure spiritual pleasure. So this is what you have to hang into. And I'm talking about the people right now, not those curious people who want to learn something, but more for the people who have experienced the loss. And I know exactly what you go through. And I know exactly that you would like to hang on to any spiritual hope you can hang on to. But the real key is that the hope is within yourself. Once you know and truly believe that your loved one is in a better place, you yourself are going to be more prepared to go to the same place whenever you reunite with your loved ones. So, yes, and by reading this last comment, I will end. Like I said, thank you so much for watching this subject about guardian angels. I mean, next time I'll do a video, I want to talk about bad spirits. I know it's a kind of not really the most positive subject, but it's very, very good to know that bad spirits exist as well. And what do we do to really try to avoid it, and how it can affect our lives. So thank you for watching, everybody. Like I said, if you liked it, you can share this video and watch my other videos on this page where I talk about my outer body experience that I had after the car accidents, and then also what happens after we die. So again, thank you for watching, and I'm going to continue to try to make this page grow. So if you can help me by sharing it, it will be appreciated. And like I said, keep yourself enlightened. Keep being happy. Think about yourself. Think about yourself as a soul, as opposed to a body, because you are a soul. We are a soul. Eternally, forever, anything we do, all the good qualities, all the good actions, all the deeds, all the thoughts, all the love, all the feelings, it's all soul. That's what we are. So once you know that, you will be a better person. You'll be a more hopeful person. You'll spread light, and you'll defeat darkness. So everybody have a good night from Southern Illinois, United States, and God bless you all.